Good morning, everyone. As it's 10:30, let's start this session, and people will start joining. And just before starting, this session will be recorded and it will be uploaded on the YouTube channel. I'll be sharing the link of that video once it's uploaded to the Meetup group into this event chat. So if in between if I get disconnected or like I'm not responding, just wait for 2 to 3 minutes. Maybe I may face like power cut or I may face an internet issue. So I'll reconnect with my another Wi-Fi in maximum 2 to 3 minutes. So if in between I lose the connection, just allow me and wait for 2 to 3 minutes. In today's session, like we are going to understand data modeling as our previous session was, I guess, 4 weeks ago. It has been a long time. We came back with this event just because like we had a Microsoft build going on last week, and it was a full 5 days of event. So I was busy understanding those new upcoming features in M365. So I'm also planning to have one session of the M365 build recap so that just the person who has missed that event, that 5 day event, can at least get a summary of the like what Microsoft is up to and what Microsoft is about to launch in the near future or in this year. So we are going to do that session also. So in previous session we discussed about Power BI. We went in deep into introducing Power BI, why it is used, what is the importance of data analytics, and all those things. How we can convert our data to the information by processing and all those things. But in today's event, we will be like she's saying the practical demo on like how we need to clean our data, how we need to clean our data, how we need to restructure our data, to format our data, eliminate the unwanted thing, remove duplicates, and adding column, like removing column, all those things like which is required in a data modeling. So in today's session, the focus will be on that part. We will be having some few slides. We will be going through some theoretical things, and then we will directly jump to the practical session. So with that, let's get started. And thank you everyone who has joined on this weekend. And based on this, like I have one, I'm actually looking for one more suggestion for everyone. Like, what is the good time for you guys to attend the event? Like, is it a good time during the weekend? Like it's a Saturday, and like most of the people have some kind of traveling plan for the weekend. So if any day, if any day during week is okay for you guys, or some like if you have any feedback on the duration and the timing of the event, then please reach out to us and like we will schedule our next event based on that. Until now, this is our sixth event, and until now we are doing this event on every second Saturday at like 10 a.m. or 10:30 a.m. But we also want to give a try by scheduling this kind of event maybe on Friday or some other day during the week if that allows us to do that. So based on that, if you have any feedback, please reach out to us and you can uh, comment on the meetup group or you can leave a chat into this chat group, whatever your suggestion is. Okay, so now let's get started. And if you have any question in between in any topic, then you feel free to drop that question in a chat or you can unmute yourself and you can directly speak in between. I'll take that question. Okay, so today what we are going to see, introduction to Power BI. This won't be a long because we already did that and the video is already live on YouTube. This will be a very short and the main focus today will be on data modeling. Then we will be having a demo. Then like what are the advantages, limitations, and then we will have our Q&A round. Like we will be having some few minutes for our discussion related to your Power BI queries or anything you want to know that I have not covered into this session. So all those things. So this is my introduction. Like I have 11 plus years of experience in M365 product family. I have started my journey as a .NET developer. Then I moved myself to a SharePoint developer, and now I am working as an M365 consultant. I'm helping my clients to set up their own SharePoint environment, own M365 environment for their business need that includes Power BI, Power Platform, security, Microsoft, and all other products that comes under Microsoft. So here are some of my connection details. Like if you want to talk to me or if you want to reach out to me, then here on the bottom right, I have given my credentials where you can reach me out. I am very much active on LinkedIn and email. I am active on Twitter, but like not that much, but I'm very much active on LinkedIn and email. And this is a short introduction of this Surat Tech community. I thought like let's include this slide also in every session from now onward. Like we started this community in March 2025 with the one goal just to share knowledge among all the people who are interested in learning new things and they don't have a time to research by themselves or they are not having an opportunity to work with this kind of technology. So we started this initiative in March 2025 and in like less than 3 months we got 245 plus members, 248 to be accurate, and we hosted five event until now, and today's event is the sixth one, and we are aiming to deliver a session in every 2 week. We are working on a full plan so that I will be scheduling all the events in advance so that people can join with their initiatives, with their interest. And any one of you, like if you are a speak employee or if you are like any kind of person willing to speak, willing to showcase your some skill, or you have done some kind of research in your field, and if you want to present that to this event, to this community, feel free to that. I'll be sharing a link of a Microsoft form where you can submit your session anytime. It's not like you can submit a session during the event only. Whenever you have a time, just reach out to us. And what we will do, we will arrange your session accordingly. And we will arrange that session as per your time, as per your timeline, and as per your details. So I'll be sharing that link to the Microsoft form at the end of this session in the chat. So first of all, like before jumping directly into the data modeling, first of all, understand like what is Power BI. I think most of the people knows like what is Power BI because if you are here, then most probably you know what is Power BI. Power BI is just a platform I can say because it has a web service also. So it's a platform and it's a tool that allow us to create or generate various reports or I can say dashboards with your data that will help us to take the business decisions, like in which region we are getting a more sales, which student is getting good marks consistently, which area we are failing, where our progress is lagging behind. All this information we can track down just by looking into the Power BI visuals because Power BI allow us to build a report, a dashboard that is something like just seeing on the visual, we can identify like yes, we are lagging behind by this skill or in this year or in this region my sales is a little bit low so that we can target that region more and we can increase our sales in that region. These are just a sample, a very high level requirement for which the Power BI is actually used. And there are a lot of tools, not only Power BI, there are a lot of tools like we have Tableau, we have some other reporting tool also, which is used for the similar purpose which also create the reports. But in data, if I talk about data modeling, it will be same. Like the data modeling concept will be same for each and every reporting tool. Either it's in Power BI, either it's a Tableau, or either it's some other tool. Just there will be just a difference in interface. The interface will be different for each and every tools, and maybe some syntax will be different for each and every tool. Like Power BI uses the data analytical expression that is DAX. Maybe Tableau is using some another query engine. Power BI is using like some data query engine. Maybe Tableau is using some other engine. So that's like basic introduction about Power BI. It helps us to build a report and dashboard for our business need, and we can share that report with anyone into the organization, or even if we want to share that report with public, like our customer, that also we can do it. We will have different kind of licenses to use this Power BI, and once we understand the licenses, we can utilize the Power BI benefits. And why we require data modeling, I already described each and everything in detail, like efficient data retrieval, then faster report performance. Faster report performance is the same thing. Like if we are having hundreds of column into the data sources, and we don't need that 100 column to generate the report. To generate the report, what we will need a city name or sales data. We don't need like who is the manager of that branch, what was the date, what was the ID, what was the relationship, and what was the pin code. Like there are a lot of data into the raw data, so we don't need those information. So what we do in data modeling, we eliminate or we remove all those unwanted information. So that leads to a faster report performance. Why? Because now Power BI web service has to load unlimited amount of column, has to process limited amount of data, so that leads into the faster report performance. Accurate calculation, we know that if the data size is large, there might be a possibility or there might be a chance of having some kind of miscalculation. If the data is limited, data is like limited to our need, then it will be having an accurate calculation, obviously. And easier maintenance and scalability. Again, it's the same. If the data sizes are limited or it's less, then it will be very much easy to maintain and it will be very much easy to scale. We can add some more data very quickly with a good performances. And then like there are several components of data modeling. Like these are very limited components. These are not all. There are a lot of components that we are going to see in the demo. Like we have the tables. Like if we are having uh, each and every Power BI report, it start with a table. Like whatever data source we have, even it has a PDF file. The PDF data should be converted to the tables into the Power BI report. Then and then only we can start building our report. Most of the data sources, not actually most, each and every data sources comes with the tabular information only. If it is not, then we can convert that information into the table by applying some kind of like split function or like delimiters, all those things. Then we have relationships. If we are having multiple table like student marks, student personal information, then we need to apply some kind of relationship between these tables, like we were doing in SQL Server, we were doing in MySQL Server, like one to many, one to one, many to many. So there are a lot of relationships that we can perform into our data in a while we are processing our data to submit the data to the report, like under data modeling. So we can create some kind of measures and calculated columns. I will be showing that to you in the demo, like how we can create some additional columns and additional calculated columns. Like if you consider marks of a student, it has it in 3 column. But now what we need to do, we need to display the percentage of the student marks and total marks, percentage and total marks. So that column is not available into the database. We all know that we never store percentage and total marks column information into our database. We never do that. What we do, we always calculate that runtime. We always calculate that runtime. Whenever we need to display the data, we always do the calculation for that. So in Power BI, we can do that calculation and we can create a new column that will be created runtime. It won't be available into our data sources, but it will be available into our Power BI data model. So whenever a data is changed into the Excel and data is refreshed into the Power BI, then our calculation will be automatically redefined and it will automatically have the correct calculation. So in that way, like we will be using the measures and calculated columns into our data modeling. Then we are having hierarchies. Hierarchies is normally used whenever we are showing the data in terms of a period, like year, then we have quarter, then year, then we have semester, half yearly, then we have quarters, then we have month, then we have week, then we have days. So these are some kind of hierarchies. So whenever we are using a date column, it comes with a hierarchy. Like, do we need to use the quarterly report? Do we need to show the like half yearly report or a monthly report or a weekly report? So all this information is managed by the hierarchies that we are managing into our data modeling. And then next is the keys. Like we always know that we have primary key, foreign key. Whenever we are doing our data normalizations from Excel or in SQL, we always assign some kind of primary key to the master table, foreign key to the child table, and we make a relationship between both the table using primary key and foreign key constraint. So the same thing applies into the Power BI data also. We can apply those kind of columns or those kind of keys into the Power BI as well. And the next is like data types. We all know that if we are using an Excel data sources, then in that each and every data is like either is a text format. We are using a CSV, each and everything is a text format. But whenever we are landing that data into Power BI, we may need to convert those text column to the number column. If we are having a date, we should convert that into the date column. If we are having some percentage value or some decimal thing, that needs to be converted into the decimal value. The reason behind choosing an appropriate data type in Power BI is if we are having a marks column in Power BI and that is under a text format, then in that case you won't be able to sum the data. You won't be apply any arithmetic operation on the data because that is a text. So all the operations that we perform on a text, like split, like convert to uppercase, convert to lowercase, that kind of operation we can perform on the data, but not sum, max, min, but we won't be able to perform this kind of operation on the text data. So it's always become very much important part to have your data of a correct data types. So if you don't have the correct data type in a data source, Power BI allow us to convert your raw data into a required data types. And there are a lot of component over here. Like we can do a group by, we can do a union, we can have the intersect, or everything like we have studied in our school level, like union, intersect, group by, all this information, all this concept will be applicable in the data modeling. We will try to see all this information into the our demo part. So let's move. Okay. So this is the Power BI. Let me create a blank report first of all. So this is the blank report. This is the Power BI screen. And now for the first step is to connect this Power BI report to a data source. So for that, we can go with any kind of data source. Okay, we have here information. So let's click on load. So now if as soon as I'm loading the data into Power BI, what it is doing, it is creating a table over here. Like here we have dashboard, we have table. So in table, we can see we have these columns and we have this table over here. So like now if you want to perform any kind of modeling activity, like if you want to perform any kind of processing on this data, then what you have to do is like simply go to the modeling, no, just go to the tables, select this, go to the home, and then you have a transform data and click on transform. So this is a Power Query engine which allow us to do all kind of data modeling. So if you go to the data modeling, before directly jumping to the data modeling, this is that query, this is the table preview. Here we can see this is all the queries that we are applying. And this is the steps, like whatever step if I am doing over here, each and every step will be applied over here. It will be applied over here. But before that, I think this is something, the data I already did that modeling. So let me come back to this, and I am converting each and everything to the text for now, so that we can do this cleaning operation together. So now it is done. Let's look to the data model, and then let refresh. Okay, so like I think this is already formatted, but yeah, but still we can go through each and every step. Like the first step that I would be showing you, like for example, as of now, we don't need the discount band information. Like if in case, if we don't need this discount column, then what we can do is like we can simply remove this column from this data model. Like we are having an option. If we just click on this column header, do a right click, you will be have a remove. And the another option is like remove other column. If I'm clicking on this, it will remove all other column except this. But now, like, can we do a control Z over here? I tried that, but it is not working. The thing, like the step, how we can go one step before, it's just like go to the applied step section and just delete the last step that we just performed. If I'm deleting that, I am back to my original step. So we were actually requiring to delete this column. Simply click on that and hit remove. So now this column has been removed. And if I'm clicking on close and apply, then what it will do, if we come to the column tables, we can see that we don't have that discount column over here. We don't have that column over here. But if I open that Excel, we still have that discount band column over here, because Power BI is not doing any kind of manipulation or any kind of editing operations into your actual data source. It is not touching your actual data source. Whatever operation we are performing into that Power BI report, that is limited to your this data model only. It is not doing anything with your actual data models. So go back to the transform data, go back to the transforming models. For example, this is a text column. If this was a text column, actually this is a number column, and like I already did the formatting, so that is already in number. But just imagine if it is a number, if it is a text column, but we know that this is a numeric, then what we have to do, we have to simply right click on this column. No, not right click only, on this ABC. Like here, if you have ABC, it means that the data contain is a text format. If it is 1, 2, 3, it means like the data in this column is a numeric, but like integer. But if it is a 1.2, like 1.2, it means like this column can contain the decimal information. Decimal. Like third row contain the 33,000, then point 5. And if it is a date column, then we will be having the date. Date over here. Like as of now, we have already hierarchy this. Let's convert this to the date. Okay. So now if we need to convert this into number, simply click on that ABC. You will be having all the options in which you can convert this data. Either you can convert into the whole number or a decimal or a fixed decimal number. But we know that it's a unit, so unit will be always in the whole number. That will be an integer. So what we will do, we will go with the whole number. And once we are doing it, this is just a common warning for us, like it will be adding a new step into the applied step. So you can either select replace current or you can select add new step. If you are selecting replace current, then this change type 1 step will be replaced and it will contain this operation. So let me add a new step. It added that, and now you can see that it has 1, 2, 3 manufacturing price. It has like numeric, We converted that value into the date. So this is like just for working with the data types. We saw like how we can change the data type of a specific column. We also saw that like how we can convert, how we can remove the column from here. But like if we want to display a specific column, if we want to remove multiple column from here, like if here currently we have like 15 column, but we need only 5 column, then one way is like just select this, remove, select this, remove, select this, remove. But normally, whenever we are working with the real-time data, we may have more than hundreds of columns. So for that, what we can do is like simply click on the choose column option over here and click on choose column. So it will open a choose column dialog box. From here, you can select whatever column you need to display into your report or into your data model and click on OK. So now we can see that we have only 9 columns now. And how I'm counting this nine column, because on the left hand side, bottom left, we displays like 9 columns and 6 rows. It already displays like how many columns this data has and how many rows it has. So we have like removed the column, we have selected the column, all these things. And now, for example, sometimes what we have is like we have a column that is like first that contains first name and last name. Let's start doing that over here. Like for example, if I'm coming over here, I'm adding a new column, Akash, comma. Okay, so this is a column that I have added, and now I want to add that column into my report because we did addition to the column into our data source, not to the Power BI report. So what we can do is like we can come to the home and we can refresh. Like if I'm coming over here and if I'm refreshing, then can I see that column? No. So what I have to do, just go to the choose column again, choose column again, and here I have to select that column, name. Now you can see that we have that name column over here. So I have to select the name column. If I'm selecting that, I am having that column into my report. So whatever addition or deletion that we are doing into the data source, if we want to reflect that into our data models, we have to go to the refresh preview, click on refresh all. And if we have added any column, then we have to go to the choose column and then choose our column that is newly added to the data sources. Now, for example, if I need to divide this column into 2 columns like first name and last name, then what I can do, I can simply select this column. I'm having an option like split columns here. I'm having an option split column. So select this column, go to split column, and here we have a choice like by delimiter or number of character, by position, by upper, lower, all those information. Let's go with the delimiter. What's my delimiter over here? It's a comma. So what I'll do, I'll use the split, just leftmost identifier, comma, leftmost identifier, and then our code character none, and then click on this one. So now you can see that my single name column is now divided into 2 columns, Akash and surname, like first name, last name, first name, last name. So this is the way like we can do a split columns over here. We can divide our columns into the multiple columns also. And then like name one, name two, you can always do a right click and then have a rename. Like here we have rename. What I can do is like first name and here I can add the last name. And again, if we go to the Excel file, these changes won't be affected into the Excel file. It is available into our data modeling only. Now let's do one thing. Let's add another data source. So what I can do is like new source, Excel workbook, and let's grab some information from the Microsoft portal. So Power BI sample Excel. So Microsoft provide us the sample Excel workbook. Like this financial sample Excel workbook is the same that we have imported into our report as of now. But let's have some different. I think we had that sample for Power BI, artificial intelligence sample. Like Microsoft is having like a good documentation placed in their documentation portal, using which like we can start exploring Power BI in detail. Excel workbook, sample Excel files, sales and marketing. Let's open this Excel file. Do we have any data into here or not? Okay, we don't have the files over here. So just don't let's not waste the time. What I can do is like I can re-add the same file. I can always do the re-add the same file also. So let me add the financial file again. Click on this and click on OK. So now you can see that we have financial 1, we have financial 2. We can rename this column as a part of our data modeling. Like we can say India. Like we have two tables now. We can do the renaming of that same data table. And now what we need to do. For example, we have not we have Gujarat, and then let's say we have Maharashtra. So we have two states data over here. But now what I need to do, I need to combine these two states of data into a single table. So for that, what I'll do, I'll select any one of the table and then I'll click on append queries. Like here we have an append query option and append queries and append query as new. If I select append queries, then in that case, what it will do, it will append the data of Gujarat to the Maharashtra table. But if I click on append query as a new, so what it will do, it will create a new table that will have the data from Maharashtra and Gujarat together. So let's go and click on append query as a new. So what is the first table? Maharashtra, second table Gujarat, and click OK. So now what you can see that you can see that we have a append one column. So we can rename it and we can call this as a master table. So this is how we can append, like we can append similar multiple tables to the one table. And if I go to the Maharashtra and if I click on append query and append queries, append Gujarat, okay. Then what it has done in Maharashtra, it has appended all the data that were there in Gujarat. It has appended everything into the Maharashtra. Now, if I want to go back, I want to revert, I will simply click on delete that last step. So this is how like we can append the data from multiple tables. And now the next thing is like joins. Like if we want to merge the data from one table to another table. For example, if I delete, if I'm having Maharashtra table, I have these columns, and in Gujarat, I have this column. As of now, it's the same, but like if it is a different column, then what I can do, I can add all the data to the same file, but it will add a different column. In append, what it does, it has appended the data. Irrespective of the values, it has appended the data from from other table to the first table. But if we are doing a merge, then in that case, it will merge the data. It won't create any new rows. So if I click on merge query, same option, merge queries and merge queries as a new. If I do merge query, then in that case, it will merge the data for the selected table into the Maharashtra table. But if you want to create another table, then I can simply click on merge queries and click on merge queries as new. And now it will ask me the parent table is Maharashtra, child table is Gujarat, and now I have to select the join, like based on which I need to do the join, based on country column or based on some units sold. But let's go to the country column. And from the Gujarat table, I have to select the country column because we need to maintain a relationship like on basis of which we are merging data. There should be some unique thing. And this is a joint kind. And this is a very important thing. Here we have an option left outer. Like it will add everything from the first table like Maharashtra and matching from the second only. If we do the right outer, it will have all the data from the Gujarat table, but only matching data from the Maharashtra table. If we do full outer is always like an append. It will always merge both the columns, like both the tables. Inner joins, only matching rows will be merged. Left anti-join, right anti-join. Like rows only first and rows only in the second. So for this, let's first of all, just for an example, let's go with the left outer join. And if I'm clicking on OK. So what it has done, it has created a merge one table, a new table over here. And we can see that here is the Gujarat table. Here on the right hand side, here we have Gujarat table. Because what it does, it has merged Maharashtra with Gujarat, like we are doing an inner join. So if we have to see the column from this table, you can simply click on this two bifurcation icon on the right, or you can click on the table. But let's click on this, and from here I can select the information. For example, if I just need to see the profit, the date, and the discount and the sales, and click on OK. So now what it has done, it has just applied an join. And now you can see that it has increased the rows because we have used the left join. If you know the concept of left join, right join, inner join, then like it will be very much easy to understand because it is applying a Cartesian product. It is applying a mathematical concept which was the Cartesian product. It is like comparing first row from Maharashtra table to all the rows from the Gujarat table. Then second row from Maharashtra table is matched with all the rows in the Gujarat table. So by doing that, we will have the 36 rows because 6 rows from the Maharashtra, 6 rows from the Gujarat. It is performing the Cartesian product. So these things are also useful whenever we are like merging the data from various region, various department, and then we need to display that into the graph. In that way, like we can do the merge. Let's delete this merge table. And if I don't need any table, I can simply go and delete. It will get away from our model. Then the next operation that always is helpful is like a replace all option. Like if we need to replace some kind of values. For example, if I'm having a 0, if I want to replace this 0 with 1, or like any text value with any other text value, then I can simply do that with the replace function. Simply click on the column that you need to replace, click on replace value, value to find, and value to replace with. It's a very simple job. Whatever, like wherever we had the 0, it has replaced with the 5. Now, where these things are used. For example, if we are having a null value into your data sources, the value is a blank, and like it is a number column, but somewhere we have a value, but somewhere we don't have a value. And we know that like blank is considered as an error. Like if you are having a blank column, then it might result in the error. So what we have to do is like we have to eliminate that blank rows. That we have to eliminate that blank rows. Then what we can do is that we can replace all the blank values, all the blank rows with a number. Let's say we are doing 0 to 5, a blank to 0 or whatever thing. And we have one question like, can we do this operation through API at runtime? Yes, you can always do that. You can always do each and every operations at your runtime. Like whenever you are, you can give the Power BI a best data also. But what it does, like it will increase your process time into your API endpoint thing. And just to make sure, like Power BI has a like a lot faster than your C# code or your React code. Power BI is capable of handling millions of record. I'm not saying thousands or less. I am saying millions of record in a fraction of a second. So whatever operation that we are performing at this time, it will be done in a fraction of seconds if we are having a large data source also. That's why like most of the companies are now integrating Power BI into their dashboards. Initially, if you're a developer, then you know that we have what I can say jQuery graph. We have some other graphical tools that we can directly do some kind of coding, and we can add that graph on our home page, add that graph on our report page. We initially had that as SSRS, yeah, SSRS report. Initially, we had that, but now the companies, the big companies who are using those graph, those are using SSRS report, they are now moving themselves to the Power BI because it's a very fast tool. So if this operation like replacing is possible in Power BI, then it's okay. Like it's up to the developer's choice or it's up to the product owner choice, like whether I need to do this calculation in my API level or in my Power BI. That's up to that. And one thing I want like to make a clear point over here is like Power BI is like an independent tool. It is something like an independent tool. It does not require any kind of system. Like if we are only having, for example, if you are a marketing company, you are just handling your social media post, you are doing the promotions via social media and all other things. Then in that case, you will have all the data in the Excel. Then you can simply add that Excel into the Power BI and you can perform all kind of data modeling that we are seeing as of now. Okay, so let's move forward. And then next, what we have, like we have keep rows, remove rows. For example, I can see that I merged this table, like I merged Maharashtra and Gujarat. But now we know that both the tables are identical. In our case, both the tables are identical. Like some data, like if I have assigned a job to two-person to go and collect the person's data from the market, I need a database. One person goes to 10 companies and one person goes to another 10 companies. But both of them have collected the data from same company. Like first five and five companies are common in between them. So we know that there is a duplication of record because both of my employee has collected the data from five companies which is same. Like they have done by mistake or unknowingly. So in that case, what we need to do is like we need to remove the duplicate data. We don't want to keep the duplicate data into our system. So what I'll do, I'll come over here and like based on this country, what I can do, keep rows. I can here remove rows. I can remove duplicate. But now if I am doing this, what it will do? It will currently I am having 12 rows, but if I am doing this, I'll be having only one rows. All the 11 rows have been deleted. Why? Because I have selected the company. So now it is removing the rows based on the country column. So I don't want to do that. Just go back to the step. What I will do, I'll select multiple column. I have select two columns now. And now I am doing the remove rows and remove duplicates. So now you can see that only six columns were removed. Why? Because now I have used a combination of these two columns to remove the duplicates. That's the reason. So like if you want to remove duplicate, it's up to us, but like we need to be very careful. We need to choose like how we want to remove this. And for example, sometimes we have converted this into the decimal number. So if I come back to this Excel and click on financial sample and unit sold, I am adding 1, 2, 3. Like I'm adding ASD in my data set because it's a possible mistake. So let me go to work or go to refresh. So now you can see that I am having an error. Why? Because I have converted the column. I have added a text number into this. What I can say this a numeric column. So what I can do is like I can simply remove errors, and it is giving me okay. Okay, I need to select the columns first. So let's click on this error, and then it mentioned like we couldn't convert to a number. We see that. So what we can do is like how we can solve this kind of problem. It's under this column. So let's come over here, convert the back to the text. I think I forgot like in which column I did this ASD thing. Let me check that. We did this ASD in unit sold. So go back to the unit sold column. I am converting this to the text. Okay, actually I need to do that into here over here. Text column. So now the error is gone. Then what I can just sorry for just this thing. Yeah. Then I can come over here. I can replace value. I can find that AS. I think it won't work over here, but still let's try. Because this is something that we need to do at the starting level. But the purpose of adding this value over here was like if I need to remove this error column, then I'll simply go to the remove and I will click on the remove error. If we are having any kind of error, then if we want to ignore that column, then we can simply go to the remove row and we can remove the error, like remove error rows. Even if there are some blank rows, we can also remove that blank rows. So go back to Excel. I'm just reverting that back. Okay, so I did the back and just close this file and let's refresh all. So now we got the data corrected. So now like we have a lot of things over here. Now the next thing that understand, which is a create a column. Now for example, if we need to create a column into this table. So what I can do is like I can do that uh, column creation from like let's close and apply. Not only apply. Where is Power BI? Okay. Here now what we have to do is like we have to create a column. So what I can do is like I can simply click on the table and then I am having an option over here on the top like new measure or new column. I'm having a two options over here. So now understand like what is the difference between measure and what is the difference between the column. So if we are creating a column, then in that case what it will do, it will create a physical column. It will create a physical column into our data model. But it won't create that column into our data source, but it will create a column into our data model. And if we are clicking on a measure, then in that case, it will create a column into the measure, but it won't create a physical column. Like all the calculation will be done on at the runtime, and at the runtime we can use that column, but it won't like but it won't create a physical column. Like if we are creating a column, it will consume a memory of a Power BI. But if we are creating a measure, then it won't consume the memory of a system. Why? Because that's not a physical column. It's always calculate each and everything runtime. Like whenever we are using that column, at that moment of time only, it will to do some kind of calculation. So if I simply click right click on the table and I can click on a new measure and then I can add the measure over here. So to create a measure, we have like several formulas like add new measure in Power BI. So now like in DAX for that like you need to understand the DAX, like there are a lot of DAX code available. But just for example, simply if you want to sum this two column, like if you want to create a measure based on like gross sell and profit. So what you can do is like you can simply add the what I can say it's sum. Then you need to select the column. For example, like I am using the gross sell. So it has created a column sum of gross sell. So if I rename this column gross sell sum. So now if I go to the table view, this is the best example of like how I described a column and a measure. Like I created a measure gross sale sum, but like I cannot see that column into my table over here. But if in case I go to the dashboard, then I pick a table visual, and then I add the sales, gross sales sum. Then I can see that gross sale. Then in that I can use this column in my visuals. Like you can see that here we have that gross sell column, but we don't have this column into the table. Why? Because this is a measure. Now let's repeat the same thing, but let's create a column, not a measure. So gross sell columns equal to sum. Again, I am doing the gross sell sum. Enter. It's working. It has created gross sell column. Now if I go to the table, now you can see that I can see this column here because this is the column and it is created a physical column into the table. So if I use this column into this my table, it will also have it will have the data. But what it is doing now, what it is doing now, now you can see that the values are completely different. This is a very important aspect. Like this, now you can see that the values are completely different over here. Measure is giving us 47494 but cross cell column is giving us like unrealistic value. Now come to this column just for your understanding. You can see the column. What it is doing, sum of the gross sale. So on the first row, it is doing sum of the gross sale. In each row, it is doing the sum of the gross sale. And whenever we are adding that visual into that data into the visual, now it is summing this information like 479454 plus 47944 plus. It is multiplying this 6 times. So it is very important to choose in which case we need a column and in which case we need a measure. So the best example of this, like best example, or I can say best thing why we need measure, why we need column, whenever we are doing things like summing a single column, we are doing something like sum, multiplication, subtraction, or some percentage calculation, each and everything, just go with the measures. But if we are doing some kind of string operation, sub like sub substring, conversion of uppercase to lowercase, or if in arithmetic, if we are using minimum value, maximum value, then in that case, create a column. Because for that, each and every column will be having a same value, and whenever we are doing some max or min, it will be useful for us. So like this is just only one like possible option. We have a lot of possible options. Yeah. That's only like a use case that's only use case I'm talking about as of now. If we are having some kind of sum or we are doing some basic calculations, like for that we can simply go with the measures. But if like we are having go to the max min, then we can go with the columns. This is only one use case. We have a lot of things that I can like we can search on the web for that. This is a simple use case. The problem that we just saw, like using measure, we got a correct information. Using column, we got a false information. So the next, like we did this, and let's now go back to the transform data. Now let's see, and now like we have this. These are some AI options that like we are not doing at all over here. Key pros, choose things we did that, and there is one more thing, but it is more on what I can say it's the coding side. Like the person who loves to code, they can learn that thing. We have an advanced editor. We have an advanced editor. So most of the time, like we all know that if you are an IT admin, like if you are a simple employee, and we ask you to add a new user in Office 365 environment, there is always two options. One option is from UI, go to the UI, perform the operations, and other option is like doing using the command prompt or using the PowerShell script. So what an admin guy will do? Admin guy will never open the user interface. What it will do? It will learn the PowerShell script skills, it will learn the command prompt skills, and it will do write the script on the command prompt because it is very much faster, very much easy to use, it is very much easy to access or execute. So in similarly, Power BI also have an editor where you can write each and every code. Like if we compare this, like we spend more than an hour just to do this kind of operations. Like until I don't know, I was speaking also, but like still it takes time to perform each and every operation. Go to the UI, select the column, click on this, click on this, click on this. But if we know the DAX code, if we know the perfect code, you can simply go to the advanced editor and we can write our code over here. If I simply copy this and open this in a notepad just for everyone, so you can see this like source. What it is doing, it is getting the source from my users folder. Finance table, it is selecting the data. I had changed the type, financial table, segment from type text, country to text, product type, all this information. I removed several column. I changed the type. I like renamed the column, replaced the values. I again changed type. So whatever I did, it is added in this syntax. So if we are good at like DAX, what we can do is like we can simply come over here and we can simply start writing our DAX expression over here. It will do the perform the same thing. Now, for example, like if I have to replicate this report to another report. There also I am having the same kind of data sources. So what I can do is like I can simply connect the data source and I can simply come over here on my last report, Control C, open that next report, Control V, and we can have our all steps performed automatically. This is something like an advanced editor. We can use this and but like it's only for them who love coding, who can write like the DAX expression, all this. Now the next I think one thing was there like we have a sorting option. So what we can do is like click on this. We can sort these values also. And so I think these are the just basic options. These are the basic options that we have that we can perform while data modeling. But like it's completely depend upon the use cases. For example, now if you are working with a Power BI report and if you face any kind of issues while this if you have any kind of issues while doing the data modeling, then you can always reach out to me and I'll help you. Like whether there might be several sessions like topic that I have not covered into the session. There are some content or some topics that might I have not covered in this session. If you know that and if you want to explore more on that, you can simply reach out to me and then we will work on that together. But for now, on this like data modeling, I think I have covered maximum topics, so I'm done with this, and I'm now open for any questions or any queries that you guys have. So we have one question from Krish, like what about one to many or many to many relationship? So if I go back to the data modeling, and if we are merging the queries or like appending the queries, like let's say we need to merge these two columns. So click on merge queries as new, and here. Okay, oh sorry, I got it. So for that relationship, what we have to do is like we have to go to the tables over here. Like if we can say Gujarat, Maharashtra, master table, then here we have the relationship. Here we have all the tables created over here. So now if we want to create a relationship between these tables, then it's like a graphical user interface. So what I now know, now what I can do is like I can simply click on manage relationship here. Just remember this one thing, like we are not doing this operation in transform data. We are not doing this relationship activities over here. We are exiting this Power Query Editor. We are coming back to the normal dashboard thing. And from here, we have the model view, like relationship view. And here we have the relationship. So from here, we have to create a new relationship from table to table. Let's say Maharashtra. And now here we have an option, cardinality, like many to one to one, or one to many. One to one, like this is up to us, like whatever we can select. But now the problem with this is like we have, okay, I cannot select the sales column as an primary key. Why? Because it may have the duplicate value. So what we need is like we need some kind of IDs over here. So let me go back to the Excel and let's add an ID column over here. ID. Let me add a ID column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And then click on sheet 2. Let me copy the same table in sheet 2 and let's have ID 1, 1, 3, 4, 2, 5 in this way. Let's save this and close it. Cancel. First of all, let's get data, Excel workbook, financial. And now let me take the data from this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. Sheet 2. 1, 1, 2, 3. Yes. Load. Okay. So now I got the data from here. So now what I'll do, I'll create a relationship, new relationship from table Gujarat to table sheet 2. Now what I will do, I'll say, okay, one more thing I missed out over here. I need to add that ID column to the Gujarat table. Sorry for that. So come over here, choose columns. And okay, I need to refresh this preview also. Refresh all, choose column, ID, it's selected. We got that ID. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Close and apply. Then done. Click on manage relationship. New from table Gujarat to table sheet 2. Select the where is the ID column from here. And then in sheet 2, select the ID column from here. So now we can select the relationship like many to many or one to one to many, or many to many. There are some kind of error just because of data, but if I go to the one to many and then click on save. So now you can see that our relationship is created over here. Click on close. So now we have our relationship established over here. So now we like it's just a relationship established. Now if we are using this data into our visuals using some kind of like pie chart or that, in that case we can utilize this relationship between the data. Yeah, the one thing that I missed actually I thought like I have a data corrected, but like we lacked about some real value, real data. That's why like few things is like it is working at the demo, but it's like we are not having a big impact on our visualization for that because we are having the same similar data multiple times over here. This is how like we can manage the relationship with the data. And do you have anything else? Like if not at the moment, and if you are exploring something, you can always connect with me on the detail that I shared initially here, and I will be always ready to help because during the past sessions, like we have like I got some people who connected with me after the event and we discussed over some Power BI stuff for some Copilot stuff, and we are also open for everyone. Just like if you want to deliver a session here, collect responses, shorten the URL, then copy link. I am sending this link to this chat. So if anyone want to speak or deliver your session, then please connect with us, submit this form. And once again, thank you everyone for joining on the weekend. And I have noted down the feedback that the weekend is fine. So we will do some more weekend session. And also if you have some suggestion on topics like that you want to learn more, then also you can reach out to us and we will schedule that topic. If I am not expert on that, I'll get an expert on this topic and then we will start with it. We will arrange the session. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining us today and have a nice day.